So that
like, tell me what I gotta do to make you mine for a lifetime.
Hey guys, it's Alexis here. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the new Bad Habit After collection and how it is a complete dupe to the Huda Beauty Warm Brown Obsessions palette. So let's get started. Well, if you guys don't know, Bad Habit and Shop Hush came out with a Huda Beauty dupe to her Obsessions collection, and they call it the After collection. It came with the Aftershock, which looks like this, and then the After Party, which is this. The After Dark, the After Hours are in the same packaging, which is like this. I'm saving this one for Valentine's Day, which is tomorrow, so I'll do a video on that tomorrow. And then the After Dark, which we're talking about today. Okay, so as you can see, these palettes are used in swatches and stuff. The only one that I haven't played with just yet is the After Hours, but I kind of got my opinion on all of these just by using them yesterday. I wore them for like for about 6 hours today. I wore them. So the Huda Warm Brown Obsession palette is $27 off of Sephora or wherever you want to get it from, and then the After Dark palette is sold for $10 at Shop Hush's website or on the app, and you get free shipping. Now, it's $10 individually, or it's $30 for 4 if you buy the bundle. Okay, I bought the bundle, obviously. So here's the packaging right here. As you can see, the Huda one fits inside of that one, so that's how big that the After Dark one is compared to the Warm Brown. Here's the packaging for the Warm Brown by itself. I already have a video of the Huda Beauty Warm Obsession. I'll link up in the eye above. But yeah, and then when you open up the palette, here's the colors, and it comes with a mirror as well. Okay, so both of these palettes are actually made in China, which I thought was pretty kind of weird because this one's like almost 30 bucks and this one's $10, and they're both made in China, which, and like not in the same, obviously not in the same like lab, but they're both made in China. So also the After Dark palette is cruelty free, and the Huda one is not cruelty free, if that matters to you. Now let's get right into the eye look that I did with this palette. Now I did 2 eye looks with this palette. The first day I did it, I absolutely ruined it. I messed up completely and decided to do it over again today. So I immediately went in with the color First Swipe Right on the After Dark palette. The After Dark palette has names. The Huda one does not, so I'll be referring to the After Dark side as the colors that I used. Swipe Right on my lid after I based my concealer down, and then I went with the color Cheeky in my crease. Obviously you're probably looking at me on the tutorial wondering why I'm using the same brush. I use the same brush for each product and each palette, and I just use this color switch in between each color, so that way there's no product left on the brush afterwards. So it's no product, I'm not like cross anything, they're all individually, you know, their own color. I just want to use the same brush to get the same results. After that, I went with the color Rosy Glow, that pink color. I went in with that in my lid, and I have the clip playing. And then after I went with Rosy Glow, I went in with Crush on Me. To kind of brighten up the look. And then I went with the last color. I decided to do a halo eye at the last minute, but then I realized that halo eyes I'm not really that good at, so it kind of messed, it was kind of luck. Love it at an all matte look. I thought it looked beautiful. So I forgot to mention this while I was filming, but I wanted to tell you guys that the shades are complete dupes for each other. My eye looked the exact same. The only difference that I could see was that the Bad Habit side took a little more time in blending compared to the Huda side, but they're pretty much the same color, and you can get the exact same look using the Bad Habit compared to the Huda palette. I'm going to play the swatches really quick for you guys of both of the palettes side by side. Alright you guys, here are the swatches for the first two rows. Now since the Huda ones do not have names, I had to use the After Dark palette names. So here's the After Dark shade Merlot, and then next to it is the Huda one, which I do think the Huda one's a little more pigmented. Here is the shade Cheeky, and then the Huda one. Here is Crushing on Me, and then the Huda one. Here is Swipe Right, and then the Huda one. Here is 24 Karat, and then the Huda one. And here is Slip Dress, and then the Huda one. So these two are the only ones that were not that close. But yeah, they're mostly the same. Like actually, when you think about like some of the colors here are actually kind of cool, because here the Huda is more pigmented, but in this one the Bad Habit is more pigmented. And then here that's this one, the After Dark is more pigmented than the Huda one. And then this shade 24 Karat, they're the exact same. So that's like really cool. Here are the last three shades. Here is Rosy Glow, and then the Huda one. Here is Skin to Skin, and then the Huda one. And here is the last shade, Arousal, and then the Huda one. So yeah, I feel like all of them are pretty close in pigment. I mean, as like how intense they are. They perform all the same as well. And as you guys saw in the swatches, these palettes are so close together in color, like literally the same. But I noticed on the brush, the After Dark palette is a little bit more richer. I guess it's more rich, I want to say, like just a little bit more pigment to it compared to the Huda side, where it's not as pigmented, but you can build it up. So it depends on what you like. If you like to have your brushes or your eyeshadow pigmented instantly, you would like the After Dark. But if you like the option to build it up as you go, you will prefer the warm brown one. Okay, so I'm going to put this one away and slowly talk about this palette really quick. So the first pro that I have about this palette is that it's affordable. That's the easiest thing. All Shop Hush palettes are literally under $12, which is great. They're really affordable, very like drugstore, very cheap. And I love that. That's the reason I bought it, because it's so cheap and it's great. The con I have with this is that I feel like Shop Hush is overcharging, or Bad Habit overcharged for this palette. Now, if you bought the bundle, you got it for $7.50, but if you did not, if you buy it individually, it's $10, which is insane. I say that it's insane because I have the Athena palette, which was also $10. And if you guys notice really quickly, they're pretty much the same palette, just half of it gone. So they gave us basically half of their regular palettes, but charged us the same $10 full price. You get what I'm saying? Like you get half of the palette. This one you get 18 colors, and the After Dark you get 9 colors, okay? In the Athena you get 18 grams, and in the After Dark palette you get 8.9, so we'll just say 9 grams. Half of a palette, half of product, but I'm paying the full price. You see that's kind of like, okay. I had a problem with that. I personally feel like this palette should have been priced at $5.50, maybe $6. I'll give you that. But like I said, if you bought the bundle, you got it for $7.50, so that's kind of discounted. But it should not be priced at $10 individually. It should be priced at $7.50 individually, and then $5 if you bought the bundle or something like that. You know, because you're getting half of a palette. You know, if you want to, you could buy the Rose palette or this one and get more product, more shadows, and but for the same price. You get it? So that was one of my cons that I had when I instantly saw this palette. It's like, that is so overpriced. You know, it's only $10, but still, you're getting half the product. Okay. So next, a pro is that it is the perfect dupe to the Huda Beauty Warm Brown. Perfect dupe, the perfect one. And it looks just like you can get the same looks with this palette like you can get with the Huda Beauty Warm Brown one. So if you want to get the Huda Beauty Warm Brown but you didn't want to pay for it, you couldn't afford it, here you go. This is your best option, and I think it's a great option for it. Now, my con, if you do decide to get this one versus the Huda Beauty Warm Brown one, you're gonna have to blend a little bit more than you would with the Huda Beauty one, okay? I did notice that when I did the side by side is that it takes a little bit more blending for this palette, okay? Now what I thought was weird, I used the Aftershock palette, and that palette blended like a dream. It was weird. It was so weird compared to out of the three that I've already used on my eyes. The Aftershock is probably the best one for blending. Like, it was so easy to blend. They were pigmented. You can build them up and they're really, really pigmented. And they're so easy to use. And I just thought that this was the best one out of all of these collection. The After Party palette, I feel like I should have used more colors because these two weren't as pigmented as I want them to be, especially for my skin tone. But blackout is black, okay? I can tell you guys that. But After Dark, I found that it took a little bit more blending for this one. And that's the only con, is that it does take a little bit more blending. Another pro, when I say this is the best packaging I've seen from a drugstore or like a cheap palette in a long time. Like, this feels so luxurious. It gives it. This is how, when I thought the warm brown was gonna come like this, like I thought it was gonna come like that, okay? The warm brown is very small and I don't mind it being this small. I kind of like it this small. This one is what I thought this one's gonna be like, okay? This one is what I thought a high-end palette would look like for a mini compared to this one. If you ask me, or if you ask anybody who don't really know makeup, I would have showed them both of these palettes and said that one is $27 and one is $10. I didn't show them any kind of swatches just by the packaging alone. They would probably think this one is the high-end one, this one is the drugstore, you know, because they spent way more time on the packaging than Huda did and stuff. I think this palette is 10 grams. I don't remember. I can't see. The words are way too little for me to read right now. And this one's 8.9. So, and then when you open it up as well, the pan sizes on the Huda one are bigger than on the Bad Habit one. So that... And that was all my fault. Oh, they're magnetic. Oh, thank you, Jesus, they're magnetic. Like, watch. Oh, yay, thank you. Because I was about to cry. So due to me basically being a klutz, I realized that you could like take these out and put other shades in and mix and match if you want to. I didn't think these are magnetic at all. Like, I wish I had a little thing that I could take these out. I don't want to do that again, but you can take these out and put, like, if you got like the actual utensils to take them out, you could take them out and you could like put different shadows in each one. Okay, that was a pro that came out of nowhere. That's a great idea. If I want to do like, I would definitely take out the 24 karat color. I didn't like that, and put something else from the Aftershock. Whoa. That's a cool idea. If you guys see me do that, I have a video on if I ever got the actual utensil to remove these shadows from their place, and you could pop other ones in. Or you could depot them all and put them in one big palette. They're magnetic. That's awesome. Shoot, I forgot what the con I was saying because that was just so great. Also, the con I wanted to say that I forgot because I got distracted was that the palette has a ton of kickback when you dip your brush into the palette. That's why it looks so disgusting after like one use, because when you put your brush in there, the kickback is unreal. That's my last con that I forgot. So that's my pretty much review of this palette. I feel like if you want the Huda Beauty Warm Brown one, you should definitely get this one as well. It's pigmented, easy to blend, and if you want to try out a Huda Beauty palette, but you don't want to pay the $65, this is I guess a more reasonable price at $27. You can also get it for $21 using the Dupe shopping app. I'll have a video linked above so you can check that video out where I talk about the $5 off thing that you can use getting that app, and you could, you know, get free shipping on it as well. If you want to try out Huda's palettes or her quality of her shadows. Her quality of her shadows on both palettes are pretty good to me. On the Warm Brown and her Desert Dust palette, they're great eyeshadows. They're just overpriced to me. But for $21, it's not affordable, but it's more realistic for a high-end brand and more in my price range of what I'll pay for a palette. So that's how I feel about the Huda Beauty Warm Brown Sessions. Now the After Dark palette. If you wanted to get if you do not have the Huda Beauty Warm Browns and you're looking for a good dupe, this would be great. It's a great dupe. Now, I do think it's overpriced at $10. I feel like you actually get more bang for your buck getting the Athena palette or getting all three. Because if you get all three, that's basically getting the price of one Huda Warm Brown. You're getting 4 palettes. So if you like, you know, like me, I always comment a lot. People saying, what is it? Quality over quantity and yada yada yada. Depends what kind of person you are. I'm the kind of person, I like to have not necessarily more palettes for it, but I rather save money and get a good dupe and get the same look and maybe just blend a little bit more and take my time than I would paying $27 and having a palette easy to ready to go and I'm losing out on my money to do something else with. You know, I'd rather go and do fun things in my life than pay like $100 for a makeup palette, okay? I can go to Disney World with $100. That's a ticket to Disney World for a day compared to buying a makeup palette. You get what I'm saying? So I'm more of that kind of person. I'd rather just save money and do other things with it and just work with an eyeshadow palette than I am to spend $100 or $30 or $65 on a palette. So if you're like me, this is a better buy for you. You would like that kind of idea of having 4 palettes to do different looks with for different days and different moods. You can mix and match them. You can use the Aftershock shimmers in here, and then you can use the After Dark warm browns and stuff like that to make a complete look. Compared to this one, you're only you're only left with one palette to do one look with. Compared to the price of $30, you get 4 palettes. So with that being said, I do think buying the bundle is the better option, and they're great palettes for the price and for the being able to get the same look for less. So yeah, in my opinion, I personally recommend both to you guys. If you want to save money, get this one, get the bundle especially, and if you are interested in getting Huda Beauty shadows, you can get this one as well if you want to. I like them both, honestly. I also didn't like the shimmer here. I should have said that in the video, but they fade. I wore it for like, what's it, 6 hours that day I did the video. I didn't go anywhere. I went in my house and I found that the shimmer fades. Like it just fades away instantly. I mean, not over time, it fades away. And the Huda one did not do that. And I did both of those shadows dry. I like to use my shadows dry, but you have to use your wet and with the finger to get them to perform great. So that's the only other con that I forgot to mention. But yeah, that's my overall opinion of it. I think I'm done talking now. If you want to get the Huda one, I recommend that. If you want to get the Bad Habit, I recommend these as well. It's all up to you. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. I will also be doing all these videos individual. Aftershock will get its own video. After Party will get its own video. And After Hours will get its own video, okay? Those will be coming soon. That's it, guys.